So curbing the growth of property taxes, that was a major goal, a major top political party, for the Republicans and the Democrats to get to the bottom of. And ultimately, they landed on a series of schemes to do just that. But will not result in Texans seeing any actual drop in their annual property tax bills. Starting in 2021, under HB 3, school districts would be prohibited from collecting more than 2.5% in additional revenue generated from major portions of maintenance and operating property tax school rates that they levy. Now, the state will make up the lost revenue. The other major piece of tax reform is Senate Bill 2, which limits the amount of property tax revenue that cities and counties will collect without voter approval. Voters must approve the property tax collections 3.5% or higher at a higher rate than the year before, not including new value and appraisal rolls. Dan Patrick, the lieutenant governor, here's what he said. We're giving people a say in their local governments and their tax policies in a way that we've never done before. But mayors and county commissioners, they warned that this move could harm their ability to maintain parks and pay police officers, among other things.
Well, I sure hope it doesn't come to that. I would rather them see to try to cut elsewhere, but they don't think in that way, so I'm not holding out hope.
He is a property tax advocate for you, and his name is Roger Falk, and he's on the Newsline this morning. Roger, just your the session's over. Your quick assessment on property taxes and things like that.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
I think that I think the sky is not falling. No one's budget is being cut. They act like they're cutting their budgets.
Mm-hmm.
How much is 3.5% of Austin's $4 billion budget? $140 million.
There you go.
Your bond debt is excluded. Your new growth to the tax base is excluded.
Mm-hmm.
And, where is the problem here? Todd, you do great reporting on this. How much does that biomass plant cost us?
Oh, hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, it cost us $1 billion, as a matter of fact. We bought it. You own it, Roger. It's now something that the people of Austin own. $1 billion, and it produces no electricity. No, you're right, Roger. The sky is not falling, and it's time for Mayor Steve Adler to stop crying.
Absolutely. And, they say, we can't have these fire stations. Well, those are things paid for with bonds, and there's no limitation in this legislation on bonds.
That's correct. So there's nothing that affects bonds whatsoever. In fact, we have, I think, 5 fire stations that we currently desperately need in some neighborhoods, and already the fire department's concerned of how this may affect them, in the next few years. We haven't heard from the mayor yet. Has he delivered his dire warning that the city's going to crumble yet? Have you heard that yet, Roger?
I think he's busy drying out his crying towel so he can come out and cry about how this is going to rein him in. We will see some reduction, though, however, Todd, from HB 3, because it's going to cut the school tax rate. Currently in Austin, that's $1.19 $100. It's going to cut that over the next 2 years. So you'll see some relief there. Plus, of course, the going forward relief of them not being able to raise the taxes above 3.5% without our permission.
Right.
And I think that's the crux of this thing is a lot of these local politicians do not want to be accountable to those that are paying the bill out here. They can raise their tax take as high as they want, but they got to ask us permission if it's over 3.5%.
They don't like that, do they, Roger? They don't like that idea of asking permission, man. They just want to keep on digging deeper in your back pocket. Roger, man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling in on the Todd and Don Show.
Guns in America.
Check this out. Lawmakers here in Texas have quietly gone around the National Rifle Association by slipping some language into a massive spending bill that would fund $1 million for public safety campaigns on gun storage. Legislation is now headed to the desk of Governor Greg Abbott. Now, the last-minute move late Sunday was, it set up a political test rarely seen here in Texas, which for years has buckled under the pressure of the NRA. Now, it's unclear whether Abbott will ignore the NRA opposition and approve the spending for this bill. He could veto it, I guess. He could veto the gun safety program. An Abbott spokesperson did not immediately respond to the request for comments, and the Texas legislature, as you know, they adjourned yesterday. Now, there's another story in the news when it comes to guns in Texas. Texas could allow all residents to carry firearms with no permits for a week following a natural disaster.
The state Senate in Texas now has a bill that would suspend concealed carry licensing for 7 days following a declared natural disaster. The bill narrowly passed, and a number of Republicans voted against it. If it becomes law, it would permit gun owners to carry their handguns with them, either concealed or openly, even if they don't have a permit. The bill's authors say it would mean they won't feel forced to leave guns behind in abandoned homes should they need to evacuate. Currently, Texas requires a permit to carry, open or concealed. Owning handguns requires no permits. Eben Brown, Fox News.
All right, there you go. Now
Makes sense.
Jump in here at 512-836-0590.
That's just common sense.
Sure, absolutely.
Look, what are they supposed to do? If you're a gun owner, you can't leave your guns. If you have to evacuate your house from flooding or whatever the situation is,
Take them with you.
you got to.
Yeah, absolutely you do. No doubt about that. It is 6:44. Now, Austin and a dozen other cities will have to take down the red light cameras this session under HB 1631, which before Abbott, who last year called for an end of the automated devices that snap photos of violations at marked intersections. Well, in addition, the bill would end the driver responsibility program, and it's now been sent on to the governor. This program assesses 3 years of extra fees for driving violations, from intoxicated offenses to driving without insurance, with driver's licenses suspended for non-payments. HB 2048 would cancel all pending fees and reinstate suspended licenses at the same time. Now, the new fees and other strategies will ensure that the state's trauma hospitals continue to receive funding currently supplied by the red light cameras in this driver responsibility program.
Well, I've never been a victim to the red light camera. I haven't run a red light and been caught by one, but I think this is ultimately a good thing. Got to be able to face your accuser. We've talked about that for years now, and it's going to make a lot of people happier.
6:45 and a check on traffic. Here's Don.
Well,